Shalom, shalom.
Alright, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Alright, we want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the brothers pushing this work through the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom unto the scattered elect, who be scattered among the heathen. Alright, looking like the speckled bird. And shalom unto the few and faithful Aquat, the few sisters listening and learning. Right, these are brothers from the GMS Prophetic Vibrations. Right, come. Right, this is Brother Yerushalayim,
Brother Kayal,
Brother Ayman, and we have Brother Kratos on the way. Right, so you know, through the spirit and power, Ba'ashem Yahushai, we continue in the breakdown of Genesis this week. All right. Next week we probably will go into other topics. Right, but for today we do Genesis. Lord willing, through the Spirit, Genesis chapter 7 to Genesis chapter 11. Alright, so without further ado, you know, not wasting any time, let's jump right into it. Genesis chapter 7 and verse 1.
It say, and Yahweh said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
He was mirroring what the elect, right? Go ahead.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, and the male and his female.
Right, because when we read earlier up in Genesis 6 verse 18, Imad, you want to read that one? Genesis 6 verse 18. Alright, he spoke about, you know, how bringing two of everything into the ark. Alright, let me see, 2 and 19. Yeah. I believe it's 2 and 19, Genesis 6 and 19, 6 and 19, Salakia, 6 and 19. Alright, but it's talk about bringing two into the ark, right? But those he was talking about, you know, he was talking about me in that case, in Genesis, the 7th chapter, he was talking about clean beasts, right? When he says sevens, alright? And there's every clean beast and every unclean beast, you know, only two, because why? Because they needed food to eat. Right, they need something to eat, so it had enough animals on the ark that they could feed off of, that we could eat, and still have enough to multiply when the ark rested eventually. Alright, you go ahead, ark, you can read it.
Genesis 6 and 19.
And
of every living thing, of all flesh, two of every sort shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female.
So the two really meaning a male and a female. Right, but in terms of the different types of animals, you have clean animals and you have unclean animals, which means Noah had an idea what of the Levitical law too. Right? So of the clean animals, 7. Right, of the unclean animals, only 2, because he wouldn't be eating the unclean animals. Alright?
And that just cut the Shepherd Bible story.
Oh yeah.
2 by 2.
That cut the whole Acts 10 chapter nonsense, where they like to talk about the you know, the misinterpret the understanding of Peter when he saw the food coming down from heaven, and he said the whole anything unclean. He wasn't speaking about food, he was speaking about men, Israelites. Alright? You know? So that cuts that whole doctrine that, you know, they can eat what you want and do what you want.
They're always looking at scriptures like that to try and so-called prove that you could eat unclean things. That would just be contradiction, because if the Lord specifically make laws and say do not eat this and you could eat this, plain and simple, why would he go now to say that you could eat it now and all these kind of things? That don't make any sense.
The scripture say Lord change it not, right? Say Yahushua is the same yesterday and forever. Right, Lord don't change. So hey, that's nonsense. Well, let's continue. So Genesis 7, where we reach verse 3. Yeah.
Let's say of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth.
Right, to keep it alive upon the face of the earth, right? Go ahead.
For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth.
And it's important to understand this was the first rainfall ever, because it never had rain before. When we go back to Genesis, the 2nd chapter and the 5th verse, but Imad, you will bring that out. Genesis 2 and verse 5. Alright, we see, just to recap what used to happen and how the earth used to be watered.
Genesis 2 and verse 5. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahweh thy power had not caused it to rain upon the earth.
Right, so he didn't cause it to rain upon the earth yet. So this is the first time hearing about rain in the scriptures, right? Genesis the 7th chapter. Go ahead, Ak.
And there was not a man to till the ground.
Go ahead.
But there went up a mist from the earth,
Right, they went up a mist from the earth. Go ahead.
and watered the whole face of the ground.
Right, so the first face of the ground, so you can end it there. Right, so that is the only into the only dew and other things as well, you know, at least the mechanism by which the Lord watered the plants and the herbs. Alright? But now we know the Lord talking about the rain. Alright, the first rainfall. Go ahead, continue. Go ahead, you have a point.
Yeah, and that just goes to show why it was so unbelievable at that point in time, because nobody would believe that something like that could happen. Like, they never see rain out of the sky before. So why would they believe a madman when they come and say rain going and fall and this and blah blah blah? Same thing with now.
Yeah, can.
Nobody don't believe that
Fire
so
gonna
much, so much fire.
Go ahead.
And missiles going and blow up America.
Right.
You understand?
Correct.
Nobody don't believe in that right now, because why? They just feel everything gonna go on. Go love everybody. The world gonna live on for a long time. It's like they know about certain prophecies, but they don't believe it gonna happen now.
Yeah, it's on point here analogy, because you know, in back then the rain never fall. In the same way, they never see nuclear destruction on a scale like that before.
Yeah.
Alright, you know, so
it'll be like an oven.
yeah, it's correct.
Heat.
Correct. So there was the first death by water. They didn't believe that, and the second death now by fire. They have a complacent attitude.
It's basically the same people.
Yeah, correct.
Same spirit.
Yeah, same spirit coming back.
Yeah.
Correct.
Same spirit.
Same spirit.
So the same stuff that happened with Noah.
Yes.
When Noah was warning the people.
Yes.
Nobody didn't take heed.
Nobody didn't take heed.
And Noah type in
Correct.
the elect. So
Correct.
we come back with, as we know, hopefully we the elect, we speaking and letting people know, just as Noah did in the past. You know, and warning them.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
Continue.
So, but they know
Yes, sir.
Tutu is not going to take heed.
Can.
You go ahead, Ak.
And you put to death.
Correct.
Verse 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And say, and Noah did according unto all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth.
Right, so you know Noah prophesied for a long time. Go ahead.
Okay. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth.
Go ahead.
There went in two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female,
Right.
as Yahweh had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth.
Yeah, the rain come down. Go ahead.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
So the
inside of all.
the fountains of the great deep were broken up. What we're talking about, the fountains of the great deep, because when the earth itself was, as Esau called it, Pangea, right? Pan was going into all, and Gia going into earth. All earth has one land mass, right? So that's how the earth was. If you look at the earth, you know, before, if you look at the earth how it was before the flood, it would have been all together in one land mass. But now with what, it's scattered and broken up. It look like a jigsaw puzzle, right? But if you're gonna put together the pieces, you can see that South America going right into Africa and fitting into there. You see Trinidad and Tobago like fitting off of a piece of brick, off of a piece of Venezuela. Alright, you know, when we bring the analogy, because we in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, and I know, and these things. So you see how it was broken up. The Lord used the flood and break up the continents. Right?
So I used to tell you how dread the flood was.
Oh yeah, it was powerful. Water's a serious power.
Can you see Florida Ark?
I didn't get to see the images yet, but I heard about it. It's really
I see a
bad.
child get blown out kind of thing. Huh?
Yeah, it's serious destructive power.
Yes, as I say, how
Yeah.
water is a serious thing.
The
Yeah.
Lord, what? Water, wind, all these elements, which are really going into spirits too, you know.
Can, yeah.
You know, the Lord, the spirits are spirits created for what?
Vengeance.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So you know, these things, you know, at the end of the day, you can understand now what they're talking about, the deep being broken up and the windows of heaven were open, which talking about, you know, the Lord open up the
Sky.
vault, even the Lord even brought in the heavenly waters, the Shemayim.
Can, yeah, that was not
Right?
fancy.
So he brought it in, that's why the earth could get flooded like that. Right? The heavens were open, some space and all.
Can.
Alright, that's what happened. So all these devils, all what is we talking about is a lot pack of lies.
Can.
Alright, and to add to that, every nation under heaven have a story of the flood. Alright, you have all these Hamites and them talk about the flood, all these different East Indian talk about the flood. Alright, everybody have a record of the flood because everybody came from what? Noah's 3 sons.
Can, yeah.
Alright? Yeah. So you go at that.
Yeah, verse 12, it says, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self-same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife and their 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. Right? Verse 14, it said, they and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl of his kind, every bird of every sort.
Every kind of animal. Go ahead.
Can. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Wherein is the breath of life, right? Right, so yeah, go ahead. And that, well, that kind of twofold thing too. But we will see that again as well lower down. Right, the breath of life meaning things that are alive, and also to the talking about Noah and the lineage that going down to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. Go ahead.
Verse 16 it say, and they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Yahweh had commanded him, and Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark.
Yeah.
And it was lifted up above the earth.
Right.
So the ships had a float
Yeah.
in all the water. Yeah. Verse 18. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered.
On all them big mountains and everything. Alright, go ahead.
15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered.
So all them mountains, all them big mountains like Mount Everest and Ararat and all them thing was covered under the water, right? Now Esau of course come to his lies and talk about a cubit is only what 18 inches. That's the definition of a cubit. But they said through 15 it was the hills, and the hills were covered 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered, right? By 15 cubits couldn't be no small amount like that.
Yeah.
Because one cubit could never be 18 inches. That's Esau definition of a cubit.
That's only shaky.
18 to 25 inches. I think it's from your elbow down to the tip of your middle finger. Right, the average. Right? That's what they're saying is a cubit.
That's too small.
But it couldn't be.
Yeah.
Because
if I cover a mountain and the Lord just say 15 cubits, that'd be real long.
And it says 15 cubit upward. The waters prevail. That'd be a long.
Yeah.
Look at Everest. Look how huge and tall Everest is.
Yeah, they told us mountain.
Mount Ararat too is a serious mountain, as the mountain where the ark rests on eventually too.
So when you see that, they basically doubting.
And if it rests,
correct.
They doubting.
That's correct. That's correct on your park. Very good, because that's exactly what they're doing. And that's how Esau goes. Esau is all about doubting and
but the way you think he got
dwelling lies.
from to because he had it's because he doubted the Lord, right? He telling himself he could actually war with him. Right? And where he get God complex from, because he telling himself he doubting the Lord actually that powerful. Or he doubting the Lord this way and he doubting the Lord that way.
Yeah.
And they were gonna land him in a pile of shit.
Yeah, you're gonna be in it in the end.
And
right?
you see the part where you say how was the mountain, the second one you call?
Alright.
Yeah, you say the ark rested on top of it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Because we can pull that up, we pull it up eventually and see if it's on our phone. Yeah.
And I proof because they can't say it was at the side or it come down, and if it say it on top there,
Yeah.
right, and that mountain real high.
Correct.
It's like you say that 15 cubits could never be so short.
15 cubits had to be huge.
Yeah.
And in fact, they said the ark itself was made up in cubits. So the ark was a
Yeah.
massive ship.
Yeah,
It
that
was massive.
a Titanic is like a
It's like probably a joke to that.
yeah, like a paddle boat.
Yeah. So so you think if that was the case, how the hell an elephant and a lion and all these things
Yeah,
fitting on
that
our
is-
boat so small?
And that is
Right.
real animals, isn't it?
Right, that is so you're the devil, we are Esau.
Okay.
Right? Esau's a devil, right? And that's why Lord said give us we are the real researchers too, you know.
Mhm.
Esau is saying let's try his best, but we are the true. Lord said to search everything out.
Mhm.
Alright? It's our job to search things out. Yeah, but you can continue.
In verse 21, it says, and all flesh died that
Yeah, put this
moved
one down.
upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle
Mhm.
and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and every man, all
Yeah.
in whose nostrils was the breath of life.
Right, the breath of life. You see, we are the same thing again there. So we talk about all the living things, according to Genesis 1 and 20.
Okay.
On the fifth day that came out of the water, right?
Mm.
As well as we talking about literal, this word, this Holy Spirit, the Rakakodash, that came upon Adam in
Mhm.
Genesis, the 2nd chapter,
Okay.
from verse 1 on down, right? So it's twofold, right? Alright, go ahead.
It says, of all that was in the dry land died,
Mm-hmm.
and every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle,
Mhm.
and the creeping things,
Mm-hmm.
and the fowl of heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and they were destroyed from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark.
Right, so when things on the dry land die, right? I mean, obviously, all the
the
sea
fishes
creatures
and things, yeah.
survive because them is sea creatures.
Yeah, they made for that.
They had home in the water, so all the shark and the octopus and all them things like that survive that.
Ooh, imagine how much food
Right.
them get.
Can. So and that too is powerful too.
Yeah.
Because it shows something that, you know, the scripture talk about all flesh had polluted itself, right? Had corrupted itself. That's why Lord destroyed you. That means the sea wasn't corrupted too. They
Right.
go into to the extent because he left them alive.
Yeah, you can.
Alright? So hey, that's Yapa. You could continue in verse 24 here.
Yeah, verse 24.
Can.
It says, and the waters prevailed upon the earth
Mhm.
150 days.
Can.
Chapter 8.
Yeah, Genesis
Right.
chapter 8. Go ahead.
It says, and Yahweh remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and Yahweh made a wind to pass over the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and the waters assuaged.
That's sweet to you, boy. You know, when you hit the water, it's like get rough.
Yeah, you can.
Right? That's what's caused the water, the rough, all the waves and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To wash away the place. All the wickedness. Go ahead.
Verse 2, it says, the fountains also of the deep
Mhm.
and the windows of heaven were stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and the rain from heaven was restrained.
Right, so the fountains of the deep, that, you know, and there's something that, you know, all praises to Abashim Yosha, everything from the scriptures being proven. So if the scriptures wasn't true, well, why would Esau be discovering pool, lakes of water, bodies of water under the water? Right? Right, because have the fountains of the deep really is bodies of water that under the seas that the Lord could let loose. Right? That Esau can't even tamper with right now. Right? We have videos with that now coming out.
And the thing about it, they show you it in the movies, like SpongeBob is a good example.
Can.
They have a beach under the beach.
Can.
Like, bro.
Can, because they know, because Esau, this devil, he knows.
Yeah.
Scripture say he search
So they
things out.
search, they search out all them things.
Can.
But they just can't get deep into it to say, like, you know,
Yeah.
to learn more about it and them kind of
They
thing.
don't understand.
Yeah, the Lord keeping them at bay.
Can, I think it's only how much percent, a small percentage of what they
1%.
understand.
Oh, I thought that
In
was
the
about
ocean,
water.
I think it's 97% of the ocean remain unexplored.
97%.
It's a huge amount.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, everything make out of water too, so.
The most earth is water.
Yeah.
Gone. And alright, we see, so that's fountains of the deep, the windows of heaven, right? The waters from space. Which is what the Shemayim, the heavenly waters.
Can.
Right? So the Lord opened up the water from below and the waters from on top. So you see what happened there? This place had a flood away.
Come like the Lord box. I mean, just like how they try to boxing with the waters.
Yeah.
They try
Well,
to-
oh yeah. Yeah, that's what they're using now. True. That's true. You know, and they're trying to pollute the waters. Just shake waters.
Can.
You got that.
Verse 3, it says, and the waters returned from off the earth continually.
Mm-hmm.
And after the end of the 150 days,
Mhm.
the waters were abated.
Yeah.
And the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month
Right.
upon the mountains of Ararat.
No, Ararat.
Ararat.
Now, let me see if I can get an image of and I found they actually they said they discovered the ark and they went inside and they take samples. Now I think they were here not seeing a video that I don't know how true it is, but you know, you see images of Noah's ark on Mount Ararat. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. See that? You see the good one. See the outline right there? Yeah. Top of Mount Ararat. Right, and then they check the timbers and whatnot and all those things like that. So you see, hey, everything from the scriptures being proven to be true. Alright, so this devil, you know, when you talk about lies and one say, oh, that's just make believe, never really happened.
Can't hide the truth now.
It's lies, correct. See if I bring up this one here. Yeah, look at that. You can see the whole outline. Yeah. See the whole outline, but it's many thousands of years. Right, and some of it still remain. You see so many rooms is just deep inside to hold all the different types of animals. Right?
Like a whole island there.
Lord, we should put that there for us to see at this time.
Somebody can bring out truth shall spring out from forth to the earth. I think it's that's Psalms 85 and 11. Somebody could bring it, see if we could check that. Because that way, Lord, all those things were kept there as a testimony, as you rightfully say, you know, for us in this time.
Psalms 85?
Psalm 85, see if it's verse 11. Let's go on off the top of my head. Yeah. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Psalms 85 and 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
Right, so truth springing out of the earth to prove this word is true. Alright, to prove what we're saying is true and we're not lying, you know. Alright, Lord said to prove all things, right? Hold fast to that which is good, roughly paraphrasing. Alright, so yeah, let's continue now. You can read right all the continue to read, read a little faster because we have plenty to read. It's up to you, that one. Read
This is verse 3.
Yeah, verse 5. Verse 5.
Verse 5, yeah, you can. It says, and the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth
and there's the upper two slack here because some that's come to me as doves to the window. The scripture says we're going to be as doves to the window, even within the chariots. Right?
Yeah,
when the destruction coming. Like doves looking through and you know Noah open up the ark window and send out a dove. Right? Go ahead. You know?
It says also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot. And she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. And then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days.
Another 7 days again, which is completion, right? To see if the water went down again. Go ahead.
And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark, and the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off.
Right, so she realized okay, but then plants stand on the shore again, the tree stand on the shore, olive leaf. So I mean she landed on that tree and she picked a leaf. Go ahead.
So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth, and he stayed yet another 7 days, yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore.
Because it found dry land.
Can-
Right.
And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month and the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry.
Can.
And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And Yahweh spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth,
Can.
that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth.
Can I multiply upon the earth? Right, go ahead.
And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark.
Can.
And Noah built an altar unto Yahweh.
Build now what?
Built an altar unto
Alright,
Yahweh,
go ahead.
and took every clean beast,
Right,
and of every clean fowl,
right,
and offered burnt offering on the altar.
right. So then the law was established in that time, right? Because in back time Noah knew about sacrificing clean animals, burnt offerings, and about building altars. Right? Let's just prove it right there.
Can.
You know, but there's always say, the law was only come through Moses. That's not true. The law was always established. All right, but it was fully established when Moses, right? Because Moses actually get codified in the commandments, written, which we did before it wasn't written. All right, but they knew certain laws. All right, they knew not to be as we call it in Trinidad and Tobago, a panty man. All right, they knew, right, a rainbow person. They knew them thing was off. I want to call them thing name because I know they might strike the video. Right? They knew not to commit murder, to kill nobody. They knew not to commit adultery, all these things that those things were known. But of course, in Noah's time, they don't know all that wickedness. Right? But they moved away from the truth and the righteousness. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 21, and say, And Yahweh smelled a sweet savor, and Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living, as I have done.
Can.
While the earth remaineth, seed time, and harvest, and cold, and heat, and summer, and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
Right.
Chapter 9.
Can, chapter 9. Go ahead.
It say, And Yahweh blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply.
Be what?
Be fruitful and multiply.
Right. And go ahead.
And replenish the earth.
Right, and this just prove and show that how Esau is a devil, talking about with the Georgia Guidestone, talking about the number one tenet is reduction of population to 500 million, I think it is.
Yeah, 500 million.
Yeah, that's a show that Esau is a devil. Alright. The man who created the so-called created the Georgia Guidestone, what they say is a fictional man, R.C. Christensen, I think his name is. Right? If you don't know what the RC stands for, the Christiansen, go back into what Christianity. Right? Because these elites claim that there's Christians and that there's Jewish. Right? They're the Jews, right? Which now a lot of people waking up and realizing that, hey, this thing evil, that Georgia Guidestone is an evil thing. That's why Lord, even now, they was defacing it before. And now, the Lord sent a massive thunderbolt and mash it up.
Mash it up, yeah.
So Barakatah Yahweh you're shy for that.
It come like
Right?
It come like the Lord.
Yeah.
He everybody define it all the time when they do with graffiti and thing.
Can.
That the Lord graffiti did.
Yeah, the Lord say, alright, well, I go and send a graffiti too. Bow.
Yeah. Mash it up.
Massive lightning bolt.
Can.
Right? Because the whole system, they are liars. Right? The whole system corrupt. Right? The whole beast system, the whole revised Roman Empire system, going into keeping people in debt, all these things. If they was truly following the laws and statutes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, things would have run good on the earth, even in terms of the debt finance and all these things. After 7 years, you're supposed to absolve or forgive debt. right? Same thing with the Jubilee 50 every 50th year, the same thing, and debts forgiven, right? You know, so right now the whole outer course was the devil, and they set up the wicked commandments and the statutes, which is the complete opposite, you know, of Yabashim Yahushai. So they have the world in a state of mourning, right? The scripture talk about that when you wicked in power, and people mourn, right? But yet they claim that they follow the scriptures, right? And they claim that they believe in the Lord and all kind, but they're going completely opposite to everything, right? Which everything now becoming to a fore, because when all the wickedness of these devils now coming out, where where all the welfare, all these things like that, equal park there, welfare, right, and all these things like that, when these things done away with, all right, welfare, food stamps, social security, and right now even in Trinidad they increasing the retirement age. When these things going on, people going to board, people going to start a riot, right? Because it's going against what the Lord say. The Lord say be fruitful and what? Multiply, right? So these devils, if they really were serious about helping the earth and fixing things, they have so much money they could have more and do that, right? But these wicked elites, which are Edomites, right? The lead tribe of Esau, them is the wicked, right? You can continue.
Verse 2 in chapter 9. It's and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth,
right,
and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea.
Right.
Into your hand are they delivered. So at that point in time, all the animals that fear we.
Yes, correct. All the animals that fear us. And when the kingdom come back to, the animals gonna fear us. We have scriptures in Job, like I think it's Job 5, it talk about how the beasts of the field and the stones of the field gonna be in league with us in that time. Even in time of Jacob's trouble, right? But in the kingdom itself, lion, a serpent, an elephant, a giraffe, all these things, they're gonna fear us again. Alright? You can bring a scripture at the kingdom, Isaiah 11 and verse 6. Isaiah 11 and verse 6. Yeah, because they're coming back. Not new under the sun, right? Yeah, truck. Sticking. Oh, wow. Yeah. Right. 11 and verse 6. 11 and verse 6. No problem. Yeah. It's sticking.
I just went to Isaiah 11.
Yeah. Gone. And verse 6. Go ahead.
Isaiah 11 and verse 6. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid.
The leopard shall lie down with the kid.
And the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them.
Right, so you see, we have predatory and prey animals living together. Right, and a little child, what kind of child is? Any child know that's an Israelite child. Right, I don't know Hamite child. I don't know Edomite child. Right?
The animals will be like man's best friend.
Yeah, Israelite men best friend. Not the other nations. Not the other nations. The fear Lord not gonna be on them. The fear Lord gonna be on for us. Right? You can read down the verse that. Actually verse 7. Verse 7,
Verse 7. Verse 7, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together.
And then what will happen now? Go ahead.
And the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
Imagine that. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and the
Suckling.
and the suckling child
Right, a child that sucking his mommy titties, right? You know. Yeah, go
shall
ahead.
play on the hole
Mm-hmm.
of the sac of the
Like asp.
Well, of the asp.
Yeah,
asp.
like
The asp is a poisonous snake.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Asp. And the
Wind.
weekend
The wind.
and the weaned child shall
Right.
put his hand on
Cockatrice.
Cockatrice.
the
Cockatrices then.
cockatrice's den.
Can, which is one after a snake, right? So in the kingdom, you won't have to worry about your children. Right? They're gonna be safe. It wouldn't be the same for Esau children. But right now, Jake children going missing and you have to study boy, and make sure nobody kidnap your child and all them things like that. That time you don't have to worry, but they couldn't be able to do them anything. They will be safe. Right? Let's go back to Genesis.
Okay.
Genesis 8 and verse, where you reach verse
8 is 9.
9?
Is it 9 and 3, I believe.
No. Okay. 9? You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah? Read fast.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
say-
Can. 9 and 1.
I passed 9 already.
Right.
Like when you're talking about fruitful and multiply,
Right.
and you, verse 2 is what I read, and you were talking
Right.
about the fear of the
Can.
beast.
So verse 3 then.
Verse 3, yeah. Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
It say, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you,
Mm-hmm.
even as the green herb have I given you all things.
Right. And we know that already, right? That come before. Go ahead.
But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof,
Mhm.
shall ye not eat.
Right.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast
Mm-hmm.
will I require it.
Right. But Esau, Esau like his steak bloody, right? Esau, like Jake naturally through his spirit, Jake don't like no kind of bloody food, like food well cooked.
So you can,
Right? But Esau like thing raw, which is what contrary to the scriptures, right? So you can bring out Exodus 12 and 8. There's some for illustration. Exodus 12 and 8. Esau always like his stuff raw, right? Because he's a devil.
Medium rare.
Medium rare. And they make it always, they just flip it on the grill and then flip it over on the next side within less than a minute and they say cook. Right? Go ahead.
Exodus 12 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall eat the flesh in the night, in that night,
Mm-hmm.
roast with fire,
Mm-hmm.
and
Unleavened.
unleavened bread,
Mm-hmm.
and with bitter herbs
Mm-hmm.
they shall eat it. Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Eat not
Right.
of it raw,
Right. Eat none of it what?
raw,
Right.
nor sodden at all with water.
I know this talking about the Passover, right? But the
Okay.
point of it is to eat none of it raw. Right.
Raw food.
Yeah, go ahead, let's finish off the sentence there.
Nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire.
Yeah, can. So you're supposed to roast the thing with fire, you're supposed to cook it. Don't eat of it raw. And that's what Esau love things raw. You can read over verse 5. Genesis 9 and 5.
Can it say, and surely your blood of your lives will I require,
Mm-hmm.
at the hand of every beast will I require it,
Mm-hmm.
and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother
Mhm.
will I require the life of man.
Right, and Esau have a lot of requirements from the Most High. Esau had to pay for all he done. He shed the blood, from since the blood of Abel, when Cain shed Abel blood, up to modern day time. After you could bring out Matthew 23 and verse 34, unless you want to bring it out, Ark. Matthew 23 and 34. Let's read down to verse 36. Yeah, and verse 34.
23 and 34.
Can.
So therefore, behold, I send unto you the prophets.
And this we're going to talk. Yeah, but there.
You can read it or not?
Yeah.
Matthew 23 and 34.
Mhm.
Wherefore,
Yes, 36.
Just 36.
wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets
Mhm.
and wise men
Mhm.
and scribes,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them ye shall kill and crucify,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them shall ye scourge
Mm-hmm.
in your
Synagogues.
synagogues,
Mm-hmm.
and persecute them
Mm-hmm.
from city to city.
Right? So let's talk one into Lord talking to the wicked scribes and the wicked Pharisees. Not all scribes and Pharisees were wicked, but this also going into Esau Edom too. And that's what Esau Edom do, and the Lord said that, in John 8 and 44, he called the wicked scribes and the Pharisees, say they follow their father, the devil, who was what? A murderer from the beginning, right?
Okay.
Right, so continue verse 35 back.
Verse 35, and that upon you may come all the righteous blood
Mm-hmm.
shed upon the earth,
Gone.
from the blood of righteous Abel
Mhm.
unto the blood of Zacharias, son
Of Barachias.
Barachias,
Mm-hmm.
whom ye slew between the temple and the altar.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36,
Yeah.
verily I say unto you,
Mm-hmm.
all these things shall come upon this generation.
Yeah, all the blood. They go pay for all the blood.
From
And,
sins then come
the
up.
wicked Israelites and all say, let the blood of Yahweh shall be upon them and their children. Right? So, but the point is they follow after their father, the devil, Esau Edom. Right? John 8 and 44. Right? Who the scripture say he was a murderer from the beginning and he abode in what? Lies. Alright? So, yeah, let's continue. I think we reach
Verse 6.
verse 6. Yeah.
No, verse 7.
Verse 7. Go ahead.
Okay. It say, and you be ye fruitful and multiply,
Right, you see it again. Be fruitful and what?
and multiply.
Right.
Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein.
Now this devil saying reduce population. Right? Who would do that? Right? A devil.
That is literally against.
Completely against. Right?
That
Go
is
ahead.
the perfect definition of Antichrist.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? Verse 8, it say, and Yahweh spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I behold, I establish my covenant with you.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to where you say, so they had idea of the covenant, but it wasn't written physically, it was in the Lahab.
Yeah, it was in the mind. And this covenant too going into the covenant that the Lord say he wouldn't send water again to destroy man and wipe them out again.
And the rainbows or something like that.
That's exactly what you know when I read. Go ahead.
They say, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And Yahweh said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations.
For perpetual generation, which means the creatures will be here forever. Everything will be here you understand?
Okay.
Right, go ahead.
It say, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
Right, so that means the rainbow where you see. I say, the Lord say, alright, we're not going to send our water now and destroy the whole place again. By water. Right, that's the first step. Alright, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, and I may remember the everlasting covenant between Yahweh and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Yahweh said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, his father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
Right, which mean what? They knew the law, right? I'm not looking on their father's nakedness. I'm gonna bring out a quick precept here. It's Leviticus 18 and 7. It's the law of the Lord, right? Leviticus, right? Going into the law, right? The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Alright, so it's just show you that they knew about the law, right? Because why would they turn their back on it, you know? When it, but Ham was just being a fool, you know, he just making fun of his own father. Right? That's why eventually what Noah did, Noah cursed, not Ham, cursed his son Canaan. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, and say, and Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan.
Right.
A servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Right, so that was the curse, that they was gonna be they're gonna serve us. These foolish Edomites, right, and the foolish Christianity and those things, like they say, how, you know, we have the curse of Canaan, and that's the curse of Canaan is that everybody was white and we turned black. As a result, that was the curse, right? That would they like to say. right? That's what they say. That is the curse. See, now we all of us turned black because of that.
So
was
it's
the
like
curse of Canaan,
precedent.
right? Foolishness, right? Alright, so they're showing you how the foolishness of this plantation Christianity even
Antichrist again, eh?
Yeah.
We talk about it
You know?
with the statues also. They say like the statues white. Somebody asks why it is the statues dark. And if you all say that is your, if only say that is your fathers from back then, why are they dark right now?
Yeah.
They say because of the time, that is they lose their color. It was white, and it just started the rock started.
Bullshit.
Yeah, turn
bullshit.
color.
So if that's the case, why scientists now finding that the genes for being dark is dominant over the genes, the recessive gene, which is being so-called white or red. Lack of pigment is a recessive gene. So they find that, you know, the gene for darkness is way dominant over the gene for being red. Right? Because what they really are, they're red and not white, right?
If you watch the man from Twilight, I forget his real name, but his name is Edward, right? The lead vampire.
Yeah.
Right? If you really watch, like, you could see the Edomiteness in he, like, look how white he is. He just look like he gonna die. That's how pale they is.
And that's what
why
Esau
would
means
that,
too.
Exactly.
Shashua means wasted away.
Exactly.
Wasted away.
So
right?
how that could be the original color? You know, they just look like they're gonna
Sickly.
die. Yeah, they're looking real off by
depraved. Right? Yeah, because and at that time on the earth, you know, there wasn't any any white people. Everybody was so-called black men. All the three sons of Noah were so-called black men.
Yeah, it's only Esau that became white when he was born.
Cain was the first. And Cain was the ancestor. Or Esau was the people of the Lord curse. So they are actually the one who have the curse on them. That curse is leprosy. You see? Alright? So yeah, you know, so they show you that's nonsense, right? Well, that's nonsense. So the curse was that, hey, first of all, you know, we would rule over them, over the Canaanites, which is what happened eventually in the land, right? And that basically, you know, their land became our land. Because if you have servants on there, anything that your servant find will be yours, right? So the land of Israel itself, which was formerly called the land of Canaan, we get it from them, we take it from them. That was the curse. So we became the ruler, we became the masters then. So we ruled them in Canaan, right? Also, land of America as well too here. Because who discovered here? Who was over here? First it was Hiram. It was king of I think Hiram was the king of was one of the king of the Canaanite kings, and King Solomon was over Hiram, right? And King David was over Hiram. So this discovery here and make was become ours too. Because why the 10 tribes inhabited this land, right? So you see that prophecy coming to pass, that curse that Noah put on Canaan, right? See how powerful it is, right? Go ahead, Ak. You can go ahead.
Yeah, verse 27.
Mhm.
It say Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth,
Mhm.
and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem,
Mhm.
and Canaan shall be his servant.
Mhm.
And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he
Come.
died.
Can. So let's go to Genesis chapter 10.
It say, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah,
Mhm.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Mhm.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
Can.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog,
Mhm.
and Madai,
Mhm.
and Javan, and Tubal,
Mhm.
and Meshech, and Tyrus.
Mhm.
And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz,
Mhm.
and Riphat,
Mhm.
and Togar,
Togama.
Togomar, Salakia.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the sons of Javan,
Mhm.
Elisha,
Elisha. Yeah.
and Tashish,
Mhm.
Kittim,
Mhm.
and
Dodanim.
Dodanim.
Mhm.
By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands,
Right, so you see you're divided in people, right? Go ahead.
everyone after his tongue, after their families, in their nations.
Perfect. That's the division of the Lord, right? Go ahead.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan,
Right.
and the sons of Havilah, and Sapta, and Ramah.
Sons of Cush, yeah. Seba and Havilah. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I thought I read that.
That's right.
Let me read off what we
yeah,
said.
yeah.
It says, and the sons of Cush,
Mhm.
Seba, and Havilah, and Sapta,
Mhm.
and Ramah,
Ra'ama. Mhm.
and Saptika,
Saptika, yeah. Mhm.
and the sons of Ramah, Sheba,
Mhm.
and Dedan.
Right.
And Cush begat Nimrod,
Right.
and he began to be a mighty one in the earth,
Right.
and he was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
Mhm.
Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod,
Mhm.
the mighty hunter before Yahweh.
Right, and Hunter, they're talking about a conqueror, so you went about conquering people.
Can.
Alright, conquering. Go ahead.
Right, verse 10, it says, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel,
Mhm.
and
Which means
Erech,
confusion.
Can,
Right, go ahead.
and Erech, and Akkad,
Mhm.
and Calnet in the land of Shinar.
Mhm.
Out of that land went forth Asher,
Mhm.
and builded Nineveh.
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 Yeah, that's Nineveh. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it say, and the city Rehoboth,
Mhm.
and Kala,
Mhm.
and Resan,
Mhm.
between Nineveh
Mhm.
and Kala, the same is a great city.
Right, so you know, so all these different cities that this devil Nimrod, this Hamite was ruling over, right? Which is where they get, which he started the whole thing of everybody coming together. Which is the real aim and goal of Esau Edom. Go ahead.
Right, verse 13, it say,
Mhm.
and Mizraim begot Ludim,
Mhm.
and Anamim,
Mhm.
and Lahabim,
Mhm.
and
Naf to him.
Naphtuhim.
Right, and Mizraim here talking about the so-called Egyptians, which is really, they never used to call themselves by Egyptian, they used to call themselves Matazarayam in the Hebrew, right, which is Mizraim, house of bondage, right, but the Greeks, when they came on, they started to call them Egyptians. Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, Patrusim,
Mhm.
and Kasulehim,
Mhm.
out of whom came Philistim,
Right.
and Caphtorim,
Mhm.
and Canaan begot Sidon,
Mhm.
and his firstborn,
Right.
and Heth, and Jebusite,
Mhm.
and the Amorite, and the Girgasite,
Mhm.
and the Hivite,
Hivite, yeah. Mhm.
and the Akite,
Mhm.
and the Sinite,
Mhm.
and the Avadite,
Mhm.
and the Semorite,
Mhm.
and the Hamite, and afterward were the families of Canaan. The Canaanites spread abroad,
Right, they spread abroad, right? Go ahead.
and the border of Canaanites was from Sidon,
Sidon.
yeah, as thou comest, Gurga,
To Gerar.
Jerah,
Mhm.
unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom,
Right, and
and
Gomorrah.
Gomorrah,
Mhm.
and Admah,
Mhm.
and Zeboim,
Mhm.
even unto Lasha.
Right, so we know about Tyre and Zidon. We talk about that in the scriptures where the Canaanites was dwelling in the land, at that time. I think it talk about Zoar was an area in that region there too, and Zoar wasn't destroyed when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, because really these Canaanites who were doing all this wickedness, right, in Sodom and Gomorrah was the Canaanites, right? But the Lord spared Zoar because Lot flee to Zoar, right? But all these wickedness like bestiality and the sodomy, alright, this came from the Canaanites, right? That's why these devils, they behind closed doors. But they say there's Christians and there's Jewish and all these things like they really worship the gods of the Canaanites. Alright? Things like gods like Molech. Right? Molech, the owl god. Alright? And in order to worship these wicked demons, which that's what Molech is, a demon. Alright? You had to be indulged in these things like these rainbow thing and bestiality, lesbo, alright, I don't want to say people too much, necrophilia, all these kind of wickedness. They are involved in these things, and that's what all these different wicked heathen feasts and customs are about. Things like the cremation of care,
especially Easter.
The Bohemian Grove, the celebration of the Bohemian Grove, all these things about that. It's the same gods as these wicked Canaanites. Right, these Hamite gods, and if you watch it carefully, we went through that when we was doing another breakdown there. I think the series we were doing before with the Pope, alright, and the Pope where the Hattie where is from is from the Hamite god, Dagon, Dagon, the fish god. Right, it look like a fish with an open mouth. Alright, that's just show you that that's what they really worshiping.
And just to tell you that spirit too, because speaking of the bestiality thing too, I know, because it's recently I did send the video in the group, but like it wasn't loading, right? Right? But it's a video when I went on Snapchat. I screen recorded. It was basically talking about Africans now. I forgot the tribe that they call it.
Yeah.
But it was talking about the tribe, they herd of cows and thing now. I can't remember what kind of cows it was. It's a cow with the big horns, that thing in now.
Yeah.
And they say they just wash their head in the cow piss and them kind of thing.
You see that? One of them brothers sent that in the group with a cow, a man bathing under the cow peeing and the man under the cow. Under the cow bathing in it.
I think that the video I sent.
Slapping down here, I think maybe you said it.
Yeah. Was that screen recording?
I believe so. I want to believe so. I can't remember.
Because I did send it, but I can't remember if it's sent because I keep having what's the press we send, right?
Yeah,
and they had also blow the cow bottom, all kind of thing for milk to come out. I see that, I was like, bruh, man, that's so disgusting.
Wickedness.
I recorded and I had was to turn away because I said, bruh, that make me feel sick.
Wickedness to the max. All these
heathens. And basically worshiping the cow because they do anything to protect the cow.
I why even in Egyptian mythology, you had the half cow, half man, head of a cow. Alright, and the body of a man.
Baal. Baal is look like that too.
It looks similar to that, yeah. And that is the Canaanites and the nasty Matazarayam, which is the Philistine, the so-called Egyptians. Them used to worship that. So let's see how these Hamites perfect a lot of this wickedness, worshiping all these demons. Right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 20. It said, "These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber."
Of what?
Eber.
Read over that line again.
Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber.
Children of who? Eber. Right, go ahead and finish the line.
The brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born.
Right, so Eber, now when you go into the word Eber, is Ibar in the Hebrew. Alright, it's Ibar. Right? And that word Ibar really going to Hebrew. That's where the word Hebrew come from. Right? We are all Hebrews, Hebrew Israelites, right? Let me see if I could just pull that up there.
10 and 21.
10 and 21. Yeah. Children of Eber. Right, so we have
Strong's H 5677. Aver.
Right, the same grandson of Shem, father of Peleg and Joktan and Gadai chief. Now we talking about the first one, right? So let me see if I can go into the root word. Right, the root word is Ibar again, Ibar.
Strong's H 5676. Evan.
Right, it says a region beyond or across, side, region across or beyond, so, which is what Hebrew really means, one who passes over, one who transcend. Let me go back here and bring it up again. Just bear with me a moment here. Yeah, it says in Strong's definitions the name of 2 patriarchs and 4 Israelites, right? But you know he was the real patriarch. Shem was the father of all the Hebrews. Alright? Shem was the father of all the Hebrews. Now, at this point now is where the Lord began to separate the chosen people. Alright? Because they have certain people who came from that lineage, right? Now from here down we go see that, you know, some of the people, like for example, have more than one son, and then one of the sons will be chosen for that lineage, and then out of that one son, a son might have more than one son, and then one other son chosen out of that lineage again. Right? Coming on down to the chosen lineage, right? Go straight down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? And this is the Lord setting up the lineage now for the children of Israel. Right, for our lineage.
The scripture where it say 2 from our family and 1 from our city.
Yeah.
Because it's like how you say that one son go have like 2 children and the Lord go pick 1 from the
elect.
The elect. You know?
Yeah, correct.
So it don't necessarily have to be because that city big, you go pick plenty from there.
No, Lord don't deal with that. Lord will deal with big numbers, you know. Lord deal with smaller numbers. People who willing to who are the right spirit.
The Lord circles small.
And just because it's a Hebrew doesn't mean that you're chosen. Right? Because you gotta be a Hebrew and you gotta be a child of Israel, a children of Israel. You gotta be both.
And your name had to be written in heaven.
Right? Because look at something here. Let me see where they have it here. Read down to verse 22.
Verse 22, it said the children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad. Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram.
Right, so these are all the sons of Shem. But okay, Elam now, which is the so-called Persians, they are Hebrews too. Asher are also Hebrew, and them is the Assyrians. Lud and Aram, right? Those are also Hebrews too, because they came out of what? Shem. But however, they're not the chosen people. Lord, the chosen people came from the lineage of Arphaxad. So out of them, he chose Arphaxad. Alright? So you only have to be a Hebrew, but you have to be the chosen out of the Hebrews. Alright? The chosen out of the Hebrews. That's why the Apostle Paul say, I am a Hebrew of the Hebrews. Like you can bring now Philippians 3 and 4. Philippians 3 and 4. Now what he's talking about. You know, Philippians 3 and 4 down to verse 5. Right? A Hebrew of the Hebrews, because as a Hebrew is like you are a Hebrew of the Hebrews. Alright?
Philippians 3 and 4. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh. If any other man thinketh that he had whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more.
Because you know we have the proper lineage. Go ahead. Circumcised
the 8th day, and of stock.
Yeah, of the stock, yeah.
And of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews.
A what?
Hebrew of the
Hebrews.
Right, a Hebrew of the Hebrews, because we know we have the chosen nation, the nation of Israel. Right, a Hebrew of the Israel, right? Esau is what? Esau is a Hebrew too. Ishmael is what? A Hebrew, right? Moab and Ammon are what? Hebrews, right? Even the sons of Abraham had with Keturah, them is Hebrews too. Right, but they're not what? They're not a Hebrew of the Hebrews. They're not Israelite.
Chosen.
Right, they're not the Hebrew Israelite, which is the chosen Hebrew nation. Right? I think even Ireland used to be known as Hibernia, which is come from Hibernia. And even the other order of the Hibernians, you know, which talk about the order of the Hebrews. Right? Where they have a term called, you know, the Black Irish. because they even have a book that goes into that too. You know how the Irish became white. But the Irish so-called black people before, you know, and they married into these white women, so they started to look like the women, but they're really Ibar. They're really Israelites, really, and real Hebrews are Hebrews. All right. Correct. It's like a good example is Bob Marley's father. Bob Marley's father was a so-called Irishman, looked like a so-called white man, right?
You see?
But he wasn't.
So he was a Jake.
Right. So how it's impossible for him to be for the kind of quality of music and soul that Bob Marley showed. Could never be a Edomite. Alright? So you see, it can't be carnal. Alright? Go ahead, where you reach in Genesis 10. Verse 23.
Yeah. Was on this side.
Yeah, Genesis 10 and 23.
Go on, yeah. It say, and the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash, and Arphaxadad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber, and unto Eber were born 2 sons.
Right.
The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan.
Joktan, right. So the word Peleg or Pelag in the Hebrew really goes into meaning separation or division, because the Lord in that time, the Lord what divided the nations around in his time period when he lived, right? So between the 2 sons that he had, that Eber had, which is Hebrew Ibar, right? You know, Joktan was done away with, right? He was thrown out, but Peleg is where the lineage continue, right? You know, so as we say, the Lord really divided it at that time, separate the languages, and then that's going to read when we go into Genesis the 11th chapter. Alright, go ahead. You can go ahead and read down that.
It's and Joktan begat Almodad, and Selef, Shelef, and Hazamavet, and Jarat, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dikla, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah.
And all these places become places to sons, but they become places. You seen that, right? Now what Ophir and Havilah, the land of Ophir. Yeah, go ahead and Havilah. Go ahead, continue.
And say, and Jobab, all these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Misha. As thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah.
So that showed that separation there, right? It's different nations, Shemite nations, right? It's just to disprove this nonsense that these devils talking about, that these small hatters, you know, are talking about. You know, that they, anytime you say the word Shem, you know, they have many nations, Shemite nations. Alright, go ahead.
And after their generations in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
They were what? Divided in the earth after the flood. Go ahead, Genesis
chapter 11. It say, and the whole earth was of the language and of one speech.
Which is what language and what speech?
Hebrew.
Right, Paleo Hebrew. Ancient Hebrew.
Yeah.
Not the Hebrew that these devils using, right? These small actors using. Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 2. It say, and it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there.
Right.
And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly.
Right.
And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
And this was spiritual too, because it's also going into, you know, what they're doing right now with the jump shot too. With the slime. Alright, and the damaging, building a spiritual tower of Babel. Go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, and they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Right, which is what the Lord said to the Lord. The Lord divided the earth, right? But the point is, what they wanted to do, they wanted to build, this is the first concept or the first form of this new one world order. This one world order, this new world order concept, right? Which have one society, one religion, one language, one system. All right, you know, this is really the founding principles of it. And this devil Esau Edom, you know, he can't make up anything original. He took this from before, from the power of Babel, mainly from all of these Hamites. So at that point in time, you know, it was Nimrod and them who was ruling. Right? So that's show you, go ahead.
And what's the tell you too, they what's these devils and them they make up an excuse and say about the Lord destroyed the Tower of Babel because he feared that when all of we get together we will be able to be strong enough to overtake him and
they believe that the Lord could be overthrown.
Yeah,
and really and truly that's right, that because Esau have a God complex too. They really believe that they're superior to the Most High, to the Heavenly Father. Yeah, Bashim Yahushai, they believe that. Alright?
You forget who created them.
I can't. That's why Esau's a devil. Go back. Right?
Verse 5. Yeah. It say, and Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men build.
Right.
And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one.
The people is what?
The people is one.
People is one world order, right? Go ahead.
And they have all one language.
One language, go ahead.
And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
So right now is a spiritual tower being built. Right now the things that they're putting in Jake's body right now is to create that tower, to create that control, which ultimately gonna end with the charagma, right? That MOTB, all right? That C hip, that C hip, all right? And that's really what it is to finish off what the new world order. All right, but the Lord did what? The Lord didn't put together this thing. The Lord separated the nations. Let me just get that scripture, that precept quick here. You can hold Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. In fact, you read that first. I'll bring you the precept. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Take a while.
That right after Genesis. Like 3 days.
So that.
Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
Go ahead.
When the Most High divided the nation, divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
Right, he separated the sons of Adam, right? So there was one people, right? Go ahead.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Right, you know, so that's very what it is. But you know, the point is that the Lord separated the nations. He never put together.
In fact, what the word holy means separate.
That's right.
Right.
And that's what lineage that was like, yeah. Go ahead.
And when in the same Deuteronomy, I think it's the 7 and 6, where it said the Lord chose a special people, right, or a peculiar people.
Correct.
Right. It's which scripture it say, boy? I believe it's the same scripture where it said, thou art a holy people unto me. Right? So he separate people unto himself.
Correct. And that's what the Lord was doing through the lineage that you're reading. That's the importance of the lineages.
Yeah.
He was separating them. So even though we have two sons, one was chosen and one wasn't chosen. And it go down the line like that. It says Sirach 17 and verse 17. It says for the division of the nations, of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion, right? So the Lord saying division of the nations, with the nations being divided. That's the will of the Heavenly Father, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright? So let's we could go back. Let's go back into the reading. Let's read. We've got a bit of reading to do still.
Genesis.
Got to sound like you're making it today.
Yeah. Yes, I read over verse 6. It says, and Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Hence the word Babel,
Can
right, which means confusion. Go ahead.
you see? So Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel.
Right, so they never get to finish that building, right? That city of confusion. And the same thing gonna happen again with Esau this time. You know, the scripture talk about that. You know, when he believed that the fill his belly, about to fill his belly, the iron weapon gonna strike him through. Lord gonna come and destroy the building again of the new world order. Alright, go ahead.
God as always says, like a serious kick to the balls.
They're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's right.
They say because Yahweh did there confound Salakia. Because Yahweh did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did Yahweh scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
Lord scattered them. Go ahead.
These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arphaxadad. 2 years after the flood, and Shem lived after he begot Arphaxadad. Arphaxad, Salakia, 500 years and begot sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begot Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begot Salah 403 years and begot sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber. And Salah lived after he begot Eber 403 years and begot sons and daughters.
Right.
And Eber lived 430 years and begot Peleg.
Which Peleg means what? Separation, right? So you see what they was living in times, in those times. Go ahead.
And Eber lived after he begot Peleg 430 years and begot sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begot Reu.
Yeah.
Reu. And Peleg lived after he begot Reu 209 years and begot sons and daughters. And you see going down to the years that they live and just keep diminishing more and more and more.
Correct. Go ahead.
Verse 20 it say Reu lived 230 years and begot Sirog. And Reu lived after he begot Sirog 207 years.
And that's what you're saying is the scripture. Scripture say we are shadow of our former self. Both in size and in age. We don't live as long, we're not as big. Alright, go ahead.
Begot sons and daughters, and Sirog lived 30 years and begot Nahor. And Sirog lived after he begot Nahor 200 years and begot sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 920 years and begot Terah.
Terah, who was the grandfather, right? Go ahead.
And Noah lived after he begot Terah 119 years and begot sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abraham. Abraham. Yeah, he wasn't Abraham yet.
No, yeah.
Nahor and Haran. Now these are the generation of Terah.
Right.
Terah begot Abram. And Nahor. And Haran. And Haran begot Lot.
Right.
And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity.
Nativity, where he was born, right?
In Ur of the Chaldees.
Right.
And Abram and Nahor took them wives.
Right.
And them the name of Abram's wife was Sarai. And the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. And the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. Right.
So you know, in terms of the names, when you go into the names here, we have Sarai. Sarai in Hebrew is Shariah, right? Which is the feminine version of prince, or it means princess, right? The feminine way of saying prince. Shah, you know, Shah is prince in Hebrew. So when you add a Shara, it means a princess. And Shariah, which is Sarah, it means my princess, because he has my, right? So my princess, it means she was the princess of Abraham, right? Right? Abraham name now, you know, when you break up Abraham name, is really Abaram in the Hebrew. Abaram, which means father exalted. Abba is father, and Ram means highly exalted. You know, exalted one. You know, that's where you get all these so-called East Indians call themselves Ram Logan, Ram thing. It's Hebrew. Right? Because the Tamil, a lot of them come from the Tiki Tamil language, is very, very close to Hebrew. Right? I just know they are Hebrews too. You know, but they're not Israelites. Alright? So yeah, it means Abaram means father exalted. Okay? You know, or high father. Right? Or all father. Right? Where they get the all father from. High father, all father, you see that? And yeah, and Abraham name became Abraham, which goes into father of many nations and multitude. Alright? Let's see. Yeah, so let's where we reached there.
Verse 30.
Verse 30?
Yeah, can. It say, but Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah,
we know that story, right?
can.
You know, Isaac was born in the old age. Right, go ahead.
And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there.
Right, but what is important to understand is that in fact I'll finish verse 32 and then I'll expound.
And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran.
Right, so you know, in this case, you know, the Lord took Abraham away from his father because Terah was what? Terah was worshipping the Canaanite gods too, his father. So the Lord separated Abraham from his father, and with Lot as well, because Lot was a righteous man too, and to separate them to him, to worship the Lord. So Lord make Abraham what? Holy. He and Lot. Because Lot went with Abraham. Right, and they become holy. The Lord started to deal with them. Yabashim Yoshai started to deal with them and show them, you know. That's the important part. Just one more precept and we'll close it off. Joshua 24 and 2. I have here Joshua 24 and 2. Joshua 24. Yeah.
Then Joshua 24 and 2 it say, and Joshua said unto all the people, thus said Yahweh thy power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time.
And this not talking about the flood in Noah's time. This talking about the flood in Egypt, where the Lord saved us when we live in Egypt through the water, right? Right? That's what it's talking about. Alright, go ahead.
Say even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor,
which is Nahor, right?
And they served other gods.
Right, so that's the reason why the Lord separated Abraham away from his father too. They serve other gods. You know? And you can just read verse 3.
I say, and I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood,
right,
and led him through all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed, and gave him Isaac.
Right, so you see, that's it there. So, and that goes into the lineage going down there. So we'll end it there. Alright, and well, another time we will take a break from Genesis and we'll go back to there after later and finish up the verse chapter 20. Alright, but for now, you know, we pray this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power. Yabashim Yahushai. And I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well.
Shalom.
Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Destruction unto Babylon, Abad Babal. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom.